Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Do you remember Charles Strouse, the gifted composer whose melodies brought Broadway to life and comforted generations with their timeless charm? Born on June 7, 1928 in New York City, Strauss grew up with a deep love for music, nurtured by his mother, a pianist who inspired his early steps at the piano. That love would blossom into a legendary career, spanning over 7 decades. Strauss gave us songs that became part of American culture. From the joyful rhythms of Bye Bye Birdie and Applause to the heartfelt optimism of Annie, his music resonated far beyond the stage. Tomorrow and It's the Hard Knock Life gave voice to hope, while Put on a Happy Face became an anthem for brighter days. His unforgettable theme for All in the Family, Those Were the Days, opened every episode with nostalgia and warmth. His path wasn't always easy. Some shows didn't find their audience, and creative disappointments came with the territory. Yet Strauss faced every challenge with grace and an unwavering commitment to his craft. Even into his later years, he continued to compose, teach, and inspire, never losing the joy he found in music. On May 15, 2025, Charles Strouse passed away peacefully at home in New York at the age of 96, following a long, full life. His contributions to Broadway, film, and television left a mark that endures in every song sung, every curtain call taken, and every young artist he mentored. Charles Strouse will always be remembered for his uplifting spirit and the music that touched so many hearts. His melodies still echo, inviting us to smile, to dream, and to remember the magic of a well-crafted song. Joe Don Baker was never the loudest man in the room, but he was always the one you remembered. Born in the small town of Groesbeck, Texas in 1936, Joe Don grew up with grit in his step and dreams that stretched far beyond the dusty roads of his childhood. He wasn't handed a path to Hollywood. He carved it himself, step by step, through years of hard work, rejection, and quiet perseverance. After earning an athletic scholarship and serving in the Army, he found himself chasing a dream in New York City. There, at the Actors Studio, far from home, Joe Don studied his craft in the shadows before ever stepping into the spotlight. The climb was slow, the parts were small, but Joe Don never gave up. He broke through in the early 70s, rising to fame as Sheriff Buford Pusser in Walking Tall, a role that captured the heart of a nation and launched a film career that would last nearly 50 years. He brought toughness to the screen, but those who knew him saw the gentleness underneath. A quiet man who loved books, animals, and honest conversation. Through highs like GoldenEye, Cape Fear, and The Natural, and quieter years with fewer roles, Joe Don remained grounded. He faced the unpredictability of show business, not with complaint, but with quiet dignity. When others stepped away, he kept showing up, kept believing there was more story left to tell. Joe Don Baker passed peacefully on May 7, 2025, at 89. Though he leaves behind no children, his life touched many. His story is one of persistence, humility, and heart. A reminder that greatness doesn't always arrive with a roar. Sometimes it walks tall, says little, and lasts forever. Breaking news. In a shocking convergence of media controversy and high-stakes legal drama, Whoopi Goldberg finds herself at the heart of not one, but 2 firestorms that have reignited long-standing tensions around race, free speech, misinformation, and the power of celebrity platforms. From an explosive debate on the Holocaust that shook daytime television to its core, to a staggering $80 million lawsuit filed by Elon Musk himself, the iconic actress and talk show host is now navigating a public crucible unlike anything she has faced in her decades-long career. But who is Whoopi Goldberg really? And how did she get here? Whoopi Goldberg, born Corinna Lane Johnson in New York City, first captivated the world in 1985 with her breakout role in The Color Purple. Her performance earned her an Academy Award nomination and launched her into Hollywood stardom. Just 5 years later, she won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Ghost, 1990, solidifying her place among the acting elite. She became one of the few entertainers to achieve the coveted EGOT, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award. She was more than an actress. Goldberg became a symbol of resilience and versatility. Her comedic timing, razor-sharp wit, and unique voice opened doors for Black women in entertainment. From stand-up comedy and dramatic roles to voice acting and Broadway, Goldberg became a household name with an unshakable presence in American pop culture. Despite her success, Goldberg's journey has not been without adversity. She has openly discussed her struggles with substance issues in her youth and the challenges of being a single mother while trying to break into an industry that often marginalized women of color. She also faced repeated scrutiny and backlash for her outspoken political views, something she has never shied away from. Whether addressing race, gender, or social justice, Goldberg remained unafraid to challenge the status quo, often paying the price in public opinion. Her health, too, has been a serious concern. In 2019, she was hospitalized with a near-fatal bout of pneumonia and sepsis. For weeks, she was absent from the view, and upon her return, she admitted, "I came very, very close to leaving the earth." The health scare was a wake-up call, a reminder that even icons are vulnerable. It was a seemingly ordinary weekday morning in early 2022 when Goldberg, one of the longtime co-hosts of ABC's The View, made a comment that would ignite a nationwide controversy. During a discussion about a school district banning the graphic novel Mouse, Goldberg stated, "The Holocaust isn't about race." The reaction was instant and fierce. Social media erupted. Historians and Jewish organizations pushed back, emphasizing that Nazi ideology had explicitly labeled Jews as a separate and inferior race. Many saw Goldberg's words as a dangerous minimization of the horrors of the Holocaust and the racial ideology that fueled it. Later that same evening, she appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert to explain herself further. Rather than diffusing the backlash, her comments arguably deepened it. She insisted the Holocaust was about man's inhumanity to man, and suggested that because both Jews and Nazis were white, it could not have been about race in the way that Americans often discuss it. ABC News suspended Goldberg from The View for 2 weeks. In a statement, she acknowledged the hurt caused by her remarks, saying, "Words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, and I stand corrected." Fox News' Greg Gutfeld seized on the controversy, mocking The View for what he called a history of heroically stupid commentary and linking her remarks to ideas rooted in critical race theory. Memes spread, hashtags trended, think pieces multiplied. But if Goldberg thought that controversy would mark the peak of public scrutiny, she had no idea what lay ahead. Fast forward to 2024. Billionaire Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, filed an $80 million lawsuit against Goldberg and her co-hosts, accusing them of defamation and misinformation. The trigger? Remarks on The View suggesting Musk and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance were plotting to seize government control if Donald Trump were removed from office. Goldberg reportedly said, "I think Elon Musk believes he's president. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump." Musk's legal team called these remarks baseless and damaging, arguing they spread conspiracy theories with malicious intent. Supporters praised the lawsuit as a stand against media recklessness, while critics called it an attempt to silence dissent. The lawsuit also cites Goldberg's joke about someone potentially tripping Trump. She later clarified that the comment was inspired by her cat lying in wait on her stairs, not a suggestion of harm. Still, Musk's team argues such comments can incite violence, especially when broadcast to millions. Where is the line between humor and harm, between opinion and defamation? That's what this case may ultimately decide. These two major controversies, her Holocaust remarks and the Musk lawsuit, are not isolated incidents. They reflect a deeper pattern in Goldberg's career, a fearless approach to commentary that sometimes veers into controversy. Supporters argue this is what makes her valuable, a bold voice willing to speak uncomfortable truths. Detractors see recklessness masquerading as candor. From Gutfeld's critique to Musk's lawsuit, The View has become a lightning rod for the broader culture wars, and Goldberg is at the epicenter. Goldberg has stayed mostly silent on the lawsuit. ABC continues to back her publicly, though behind the scenes, some insiders suggest her tenure on the show may be under review. So what does all of this mean for a woman who has lived so many lives, comedian, actress, activist, survivor? Her legacy is now being reframed not only by her triumphs, but by her controversies. What remains undeniable is her resilience. Through illness, public backlash, and personal reinvention, Whoopi Goldberg has always found a way forward. Now, with two cultural powder kegs exploding in succession, she stands once again at a crossroads. Final thoughts. In an era of viral outrage and media polarization, Goldberg's journey is a case study in the double-edged nature of celebrity influence. Her story is not only about missteps and litigation, it is about survival, reinvention, and the human cost of speaking one's mind in the glare of public scrutiny. And as this story unfolds, one truth remains. America is not just watching, it is debating, judging, and questioning what accountability truly means. Is Whoopi Goldberg a cautionary tale or a cultural touchstone? Let us know in the comments below. The conversation is far from over. Our next story pays tribute to a director whose name might not always be in lights, but whose films have left a lasting impression. James Foley, the versatile filmmaker behind Glengarry Glen Ross, At Close Range, House of Cards, and the final two 50 Shades films. James Foley passed away peacefully in early May 2025 at the age of 71, following a long and private battle with brain cancer. Though the end came quietly, his career was anything but. Born in Brooklyn and raised in New York, Foley's journey into film began not with privilege or connections, but a student film screened at a party. A chance encounter with legendary director Hal Ashby opened a door, and Foley stepped through it with a vision all his own. Over the decades, Foley carved out a career defined by daring choices and creative reinvention. His early films, Reckless, At Close Range, and especially Glengarry Glen Ross, earned him critical acclaim. But success wasn't linear. The Madonna-led Who's That Girl was a commercial flop, and other projects like Perfect Stranger pushed him into what he once called director jail. Yet Foley never gave up. He returned to television, directing episodes of House of Cards and Billions, proving that his cinematic instincts could thrive on the small screen. Then, in an unexpected turn, he took on 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed, navigating a blockbuster franchise with precision and calm, even amid behind-the-scenes tensions that had plagued the first film. Foley wasn't afraid to take risks. He didn't stick to one genre, nor did he chase trends. He followed what fascinated him, even when it meant enduring commercial failure or critical doubt. That honesty, that resilience, that's what defines his legacy. James Foley didn't just direct films. He shaped performances, guided stories, and refused to be boxed in. His work lives on in the intense conversations of Glengarry, the quiet intimacy of House of Cards, and yes, even the charged fantasy of 50 Shades. Jill Sobule, the beloved American singer-songwriter known for her wit, honesty, and musical courage, left us on May 1st, 2025, at the age of 66, due to a tragic house fire in Woodbury, Minnesota. With a guitar in hand and stories in her heart, Jill spent over 3 decades crafting songs that spoke to the core of human experience, often tender, sometimes satirical, always sincere. Born in Denver, Colorado, Jill captured national attention with her breakout hits I Kissed a Girl and Supermodel from her 1995 self-titled album. The latter became a defining anthem of the film Clueless, a cultural moment that introduced her bold spirit to a generation. But her artistry extended far beyond the mainstream. Her lyrics explored complex themes: identity, justice, resilience, with a poet's precision and a troubadour's grace. Jill's career reflected a rare combination of humor and vulnerability. She stood at the forefront of musical storytelling, often tackling topics long before they entered the national conversation. Her honesty inspired many, especially those who saw themselves in her songs when few others dared to sing them. Though she faced personal setbacks, including the loss of a parent and times of creative uncertainty, Jill rediscovered her passion later in life. Her final album, Nostalgia Kills, was a return to form, candid, clever, and deeply moving. She performed with joy, sharing not just music, but moments of connection. Jill Sobule's voice, both literal and lyrical, will continue to echo in concert halls, headphones, and hearts. Her songs remind us to speak truthfully, love openly, and find the courage to sing our own stories. In every verse, Jill remains with us. Denise Alexander, a cherished figure in daytime television, passed away peacefully on March 5, 2025, at the age of 85. Known to millions as Dr. Leslie Weber on General Hospital, Denise graced screens for nearly 5 decades, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of viewers. Born in New York City in 1939, Denise began performing on radio at the age of 6 and seamlessly transitioned to television and film. With more than 5,000 radio and 500 TV appearances by her 20s, she was already a veteran in the industry. Her early career included a role in the 1956 film Crime in the Streets and appearances on beloved classics like The Twilight Zone and Father Knows Best. In 1966, she stepped into the role of Susan Hunter Martin on Days of Our Lives, and later in 1973, she joined General Hospital during a pivotal time for the show. As Dr. Leslie Weber, Denise portrayed one of daytime TV's first female doctors, a trailblazing role that broke barriers and captured imaginations. Her storylines, including an unforgettable love triangle and powerful family dramas, helped propel the show to new heights, even earning her a Daytime Emmy nomination. Beyond the screen, Denise was a gifted photographer and dedicated collaborator, working closely with her late husband, producer-director Richard A. Kalla. Though she stepped back from acting in later years, she returned to General Hospital for special appearances, reminding fans of the grace and depth she always brought to her work. Denise Alexander's legacy lives on through the characters she brought to life and the countless memories she shared with audiences. Her work was more than entertainment. It was a comforting presence in people's lives. She will be remembered for her warmth, resilience, and remarkable contribution to television history. Mike Peters, the inspiring voice behind Welsh rock band The Alarm, passed away at 66 following a courageous, decades-long journey with cancer. Best known for anthems like 68 Guns and Rain in the Summertime, Mike's music echoed with defiance, resilience, and heart, qualities that defined both his artistry and his life. Born in Prestatyn, Wales in 1959, Mike came of age in Britain's punk scene, transforming raw energy into rallying cries for hope and unity. With The Alarm, he shared stages with legends like U2, Bruce Springsteen, and Bob Dylan, bringing his distinctive voice to listeners around the world. Yet beyond the spotlight, it was Mike's strength off stage that touched so many. Diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 1995, and later with chronic lymphocytic leukemia, Mike faced each setback with unyielding spirit. Even while undergoing treatment, he continued to tour, record, and connect with fans. His music was not only a career, it was a lifeline, a statement of purpose. With his wife Jules, a fellow survivor, Mike co-founded the Love Hope Strength Foundation, bringing awareness and support to cancer patients worldwide. From staging concerts on Mount Everest to walking between hospitals in Wales, their efforts inspired thousands and saved lives. Through all of life's trials, Mike Peters held on to what mattered most: family, music, and hope. His legacy is not just in the songs he wrote, but in the lives he uplifted. As he once said, "Stay alive and appreciate every second you've got." That message, like his music, will echo for generations. If you've ever heard a voice that felt like poetry wrapped in feedback and thunder, you've probably met David Thomas. Born on June 14, 1953 in Miami and raised in the quiet hills of Pennsylvania, David Thomas was a visionary American musician, best known as the frontman of the groundbreaking band Pere. From the mid-1970s onward, he created a sound that defied classification, equal parts punk rebellion and avant-garde experiment. With his expressive voice and sharp wit, he made music that challenged the mind while stirring the soul. Pere Ubu's debut single, 30 Seconds Over Tokyo, announced a new direction in rock music: bold, discordant, and deeply human. Across 4 decades, David guided the band through nearly 20 albums, each one a chapter in his relentless artistic journey. Whether performing with Pere Ubu, collaborating with artists like Richard Thompson, or stepping into theatrical and literary projects, he always honored his own creative compass. David's health challenges in later years, including a long illness, didn't dim his spark. From his home in Brighton and Hove, surrounded by music and loved ones, he continued to write, record, and reflect. At the time of his passing, he was completing a final album and working on an autobiography, projects that will soon reach the world. David once said his dream was for someone to discover a Pere Ubu album in a used record bin 30 years on and be transformed. That dream lives on. His work, wild and wise, remains a testament to the power of sound, words, and an unshakable spirit. Lulu Roman, a beloved figure in country comedy and gospel music, brought laughter and healing to generations of viewers and listeners. Known for her quick wit and big heart, she first won America's love on Hee Haw, where she appeared from its debut in 1969 until its final season in 1993. Her vibrant humor lit up iconic sketches like The Culhanes and The Jug Band, but her journey extended far beyond the television stage. Born Bertha Louise Habel on May 6, 1946, in Dallas, Texas, Lulu overcame profound adversity from an early age. Raised in an orphanage and living with a lifelong thyroid condition, she turned hardship into empathy and resilience. After stepping away from Hee Haw in the early 1970s, Lulu experienced a transformative rebirth through faith. In 1973, she began a new chapter as a gospel singer, recording over a dozen albums and performing alongside country legends like Dolly Parton and George Jones. Lulu's music, often rooted in her own story of redemption, touched countless hearts. Her 1985 album, You Were Loving Me, earned a Dove Award, and in 1999, she was inducted into the Country Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Her 2019 memoir, This Is My Story, This Is My Song, offered readers a candid and inspiring look at a life shaped by grace and courage. Lulu passed away peacefully on April 23, 2025, in Bellingham, Washington, where she had recently moved to be near her family. She was 78. Her story is one of faith, forgiveness, and joy, an enduring legacy of a woman who made the world a little brighter through every laugh and every lyric. To know David St. John was to feel warmth, joy, and the quiet strength of someone who truly cared. As an executive producer behind beloved reality series like I Am Jazz and America's Next Top Model, David was more than a storyteller. He was a source of comfort and courage to the people whose lives he helped share with the world. He passed away on December 19, 2024, at age 56, after facing pancreatic cancer with the same grace and resilience that defined his life and work. David's career began humbly at MTV, but his vision quickly led him to shape some of television's most meaningful, unscripted stories. He brought sensitivity and humor to Taildaters, drama and empowerment to Top Model, and hope and humanity to I Am Jazz, where he became like family to the Jennings household. Through each project, David saw beyond the screen. He saw people, and he honored their truth. 15 years ago, after surviving 2 complex brain surgeries, David gave back by volunteering to meet with patients preparing for the same procedures. He used his voice not only to entertain, but to uplift. His latest series, Jay and Pamela, continued that mission, celebrating love and perseverance in the face of rare challenges. David is survived by his husband, Scott, his mother, Lynn, sisters Corinne and Rachel, and lifelong friends who became family. He left this world surrounded by love, just as he lived. His light, his laughter, and his extraordinary heart will echo in every life he touched, and in every story still waiting to be told. Michael Schlesinger was a beloved figure in the world of classic cinema, born in September 1950 in Dayton, Ohio. A lifelong champion of film history, he devoted more than 25 years to preserving and sharing the magic of the movies, working at United Artists Classics, Paramount Pictures Distribution, and Sony Repertory. Through his work, Michael helped bring some of Hollywood's most treasured films back to the big screen, including the 50th anniversary release of Citizen Kane and a magnificent 70mm restoration of Lawrence of Arabia. Michael had a rare gift. He didn't just love movies, he understood them. He brought warmth and humor to his work, whether reimagining Godzilla 2000 for American audiences or directing his own retro comedies like Rockin' Doris, Try to Write a Movie. With every project, he reminded audiences of the joy, wonder, and timeless storytelling of classic cinema. For years, he was a familiar, welcoming presence at festivals like TCM Classic Film Festival and Cinecon, where he hosted screenings and shared his encyclopedic knowledge and infectious passion. Michael's commentaries on DVD releases, including his favorite film, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, became treasured guides for movie lovers everywhere. Michael's journey was not without personal trials. In his final years, he faced a rare form of cancer with quiet courage and grace. On January 9, 2025, at the age of 74, he passed away at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. His legacy lives on in every restored frame, every saved classic, and in the hearts of cinephiles who, like Michael, found home in the flicker of old film reels. His life was a beautiful reminder that preserving the past can be a gift to the future. Carl Cochran was a gifted guitarist whose music and spirit resonated deeply within the rock community. Born with a natural talent and a passion for sound, Carl's career soared in the early 1990s when he joined forces with Joe Lynn Turner, contributing to several of Turner's solo albums. Soon after, he toured with Ace Frehley, the iconic guitarist of Kiss, and helped shape the sound of their live shows between 1994 and 1996. In 1998, Carl co-wrote Into the Void with Frehley for Kiss's Psycho Circus album, solidifying his place in the band's creative legacy. His remarkable skill also earned him a place in the Eric Singer Project, where he performed alongside some of rock's most respected names. Later, he revived his own band, Voodoo Land, sharing his own unique voice with the world through their music. Beyond performance, Carl was a dedicated teacher and mentor, passing down his knowledge to a new generation of musicians. In 2014, he faced one of life's hardest battles when he experienced a stroke that affected his mobility and speech. But true to his resilient nature, Carl worked his way back, continuing to teach, produce, and play music with quiet strength and determination. On February 19, 2025, at the age of 61, Carl passed away from severe injuries sustained in a car accident near his home in New Jersey. To those who knew him and heard his music, Carl was more than a guitarist. He was a source of heart, power, and perseverance. His sound lives on in every chord, and his legacy echoes through the countless lives he touched with his kindness, courage, and unforgettable artistry. Beej Chaney was a pioneering American musician whose voice, energy, and artistic spirit helped shape the sound of an era. Born Blaine John Chaney on April 30, 1957, in Deep Haven, Minnesota, he would go on to become the charismatic frontman and guitarist of the Suburbs, one of Minneapolis's most influential punk and new wave bands. Founded in 1977, the Suburbs quickly became known for their vibrant fusion of punk, jazz, funk, and pop. With Chaney's passionate guitar playing, affectionately dubbed the Beejtar, and his dynamic, unpredictable stage presence, the band carved out a loyal following and released critically acclaimed albums like In Combo, Credit in Heaven, and Love is the Law. Chaney's bold performances often drew comparisons to Iggy Pop, and his musical legacy left an enduring imprint on the Twin Cities music scene. After the group disbanded in 1987, Chaney moved to Los Angeles, where he continued to create music, releasing solo projects and producing work at the famed Shangri-La studio in Malibu. He later reunited with the Suburbs for their 2013 comeback album, Si Sauvage, before stepping away from the band in 2014. In 2024, Chaney survived a near-drowning accident in the Pacific Ocean, an incident that left him temporarily in a coma. His resilience shone through once more as he recovered and returned to music. Sadly, on January 5, 2025, while swimming near his home in Hermosa Beach, California, Chaney drowned in what authorities described as a tragic accident. Beej Chaney's legacy lives on in the heart of Minneapolis's music history and in the vibrant, genre-defying sound he helped pioneer. His voice and vision will continue to echo wherever music dares to break the mold. Biff Whiff was a cherished character actor whose warm presence and unmistakable charm brought joy to television and film audiences for nearly 4 decades. A familiar face to many, he was best known for his standout appearances in the Emmy-winning sketch comedy series I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson and the Academy Award-winning film Everything Everywhere All at Once. Though his roles were often brief, they left a lasting impression, memorable, funny, and full of heart. Whiff began his career in the mid-1980s, making his debut in The New Gidget. Over the years, he appeared in an impressive range of beloved TV shows: Moonlighting, LA Law, Desperate Housewives, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Westworld, and both the original and rebooted versions of Night Court. Whether delivering a quick punchline or a quiet moment of depth, he brought a gentle strength and sincerity to every scene. In the final years of his life, Whiff faced a recurring battle with cancer. Yet even in his most difficult moments, he continued to share his gratitude with fans and colleagues. In his final post, he reflected on the joy of working with the cast of Everything Everywhere All at Once, thanking the directors and expressing how deeply the experience meant to him. Biff Whiff passed away in February 2025 after his long health struggle. He was remembered as a kind-hearted artist who lifted every project he touched. His legacy endures in the roles he played and in the lives he made a little brighter. Do you remember seeing Biff Whiff in your favorite show? Which role of his made you smile the most? Share your memories in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Breaking news. Today, we explore the extraordinary journey of a man whose towering presence in Hollywood stands in direct contrast to his famously small stature. Danny DeVito, one of the most recognizable figures in film and television, has carved out a remarkable career defined by talent, resilience, and a fierce sense of identity. How do you feel about Danny DeVito's impact on the entertainment industry? Share your thoughts in the comments as we take a closer look at his inspiring story, his health journey, and how he defied the odds to become a true icon. Born Daniel Michael DeVito Jr. on November 17, 1944, in Neptune Township, New Jersey, DeVito grew up in a working-class Italian-American family. From an early age, he stood out, not just for his humor, but for his height. Due to a rare genetic condition known as multiple epiphyseal dysplasia, or Fairbanks disease, DeVito grew to a height of just 4 feet 10 inches. This condition affects bone growth and development, often causing physical discomfort and challenges. Yet instead of allowing his height to define or limit him, DeVito turned it into one of his greatest strengths, a signature trait that would help him stand out in an industry dominated by traditional standards of appearance. After graduating from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in 1966, DeVito began acting in stage productions and off-Broadway performances. His breakthrough came in 1975 with his role in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where he played Martini, a gentle patient in a psychiatric institution. That role would set the tone for a career filled with dynamic, memorable characters that only Danny DeVito could portray. But it was his performance as the brash, conniving dispatcher, Louis De Palma, in the hit television series Taxi, 1978-1983, that made him a household name. The role won him both an Emmy and a Golden Globe, and it showcased the sharp wit, physical comedy, and intensity that became his trademarks. DeVito did not need to tower physically. His screen presence was larger than life. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, DeVito continued to expand his reach in Hollywood. He starred in box office hits like Romancing the Stone, Ruthless People, Twins, opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the darkly brilliant Batman Returns, where he played the unforgettable villain Penguin. In each role, DeVito brought something fresh and unexpected. Whether in comedy or drama, hero or villain, he delivered with fearless energy. Beyond acting, DeVito proved himself a formidable talent behind the camera. He directed and produced several acclaimed films, including Throw Mama from the Train, The War of the Roses, and Matilda, in which he also starred alongside his then-wife, Rhea Perlman. His production company, Jersey Films, was behind modern classics like Pulp Fiction, Erin Brockovich, and Garden State, showcasing his eye for compelling stories and unique voices. Despite his Hollywood success, DeVito has always remained grounded in who he is. His physical difference, which others might have hidden or shied away from, became part of his identity, something he owned with humor and pride. In interviews, he often jokes about his height, but never lets it become the punchline. Instead, it is a symbol of his journey, an outward sign of an inward strength. In recent years, DeVito has found renewed popularity through his role as Frank Reynolds in the long-running television series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. His fearless, absurd, and often outrageous performance has won him a new generation of fans. The role is both a tribute to his comedic roots and a bold reinvention that defies expectations about aging in Hollywood. DeVito has also become a beloved figure off-screen. He has 3 children with Rhea Perlman, and although the couple separated in 2017, they remain close friends and collaborators. His daughter, Lucy DeVito, has followed in his footsteps as an actor, and the two recently performed together in the stage production I Need That. Their bond reflects Danny's deep commitment to family and mentorship. Health-wise, DeVito has spoken candidly about living with Fairbanks disease, acknowledging the challenges, but never allowing them to define his capabilities. While the condition can bring discomfort and mobility issues, he continues to work, perform, and stay active. His ability to thrive in an industry that prizes physical conformity is nothing short of inspiring. Unlike many of his peers, DeVito has largely avoided controversy. He is known for his political outspokenness, particularly on social issues and diversity in Hollywood, but has maintained a reputation for being respectful, generous, and grounded. Even when he takes a stand, he does so with a blend of passion and humor that endears him to audiences across the political spectrum. DeVito's legacy is not just about the roles he played, but about the rules he broke. In a world where fame often comes with conformity, he proved that difference can be power. He showed that talent, perseverance, and authenticity matter far more than appearance. His story is not just one of success, but of triumph, a journey that proves greatness does not always come in expected packages. As we reflect on the remarkable path of Danny DeVito, we are reminded that true influence comes from within. He is more than a character actor, more than a director or producer. He is a cultural figure who has reshaped the conversation around identity, ability, and self-worth. He invites us all to laugh a little louder, to think a little deeper, and to live more fully, no matter the obstacles. What are your favorite Danny DeVito moments? Is it his hilarious role in Twins, or his chilling turn as Penguin? Or perhaps his work behind the camera inspired you most? Share your memories in the comments below, and do not forget to like this video and subscribe for more tributes to the legends of film and television. Danny DeVito may be small in stature, but his impact on Hollywood and on all of us is monumental. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the life, the work, and the legacy of a true original.